everyone, and welcome to Rewind, the retro video game show coming to you live every Friday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on the AWS for Games channels on YouTube and Twitch. My name is Chris Melisinos, and I'm the principal evangelist for video games and immersive technologies here at AWS. And on today's episode, I thought, given the season that we're in right now, we'd go back and take a look at some scary but not so really scary video games from the earliest era of games and a little bit forward. So looking at games on the Atari VCS, looking at some games on the NES, looking at Genesis, TurboGrafx 16, and one other game that is kind of a throwback from graphic style, but is a more modern game, but still a little bit terrifying. Now, when it comes to horror games or those sorts of games in me, they do not match. I am already jittery enough in real life, and I don't need the extra stress of facing off these monsters. But so Outlast and Red Barrel Games. Love you guys as a developer and a partner and a customer of ours. I just can't play those games. So we're going to go back and look at some games that are, Halloween themed. They may be a bit monster based. And one of them that's actually still puts me on edge even today, even though this was an Atari VCS game. I'm going to hold that one for later, although I've talked about it on a previous episode. I'm going to play a little bit further in today. So, and I want to thank those of you that have been checking out the premieres that we've had over the past month. I've been away on some extended travel and just got back actually from the Montreal International Game Developers Summit, or the Montreal International Games Summit, which was held in Montreal, Canada, over the past 2 days. So I threw this one together real quickly. Just haven't had enough time to put too much into it, but we're still going to have some fun. Go check out some old classic games. And there are some games from your childhood that stood out as ones that were a little frightening or scary. Let me know in the comments, and if I had them in my library, maybe we'll go ahead and pull them up. But we're going to go ahead and jump right in and check out some spooky but not so scary Halloween theme or monster themed games here on Rewind. So let's head on over and check them out. All right, so I figured what we would do is we would start with one that is, let me go ahead and turn this audio down so we can hear the audio of those games. So we're going to go ahead and start with a game on the Atari VCS, or the 2600 as some of you may know it. And this game will be, I think, familiar to anybody who's a fan of classic games. There's been several remakes of this game going forward, and it is Haunted House. So let's go ahead and fire that up. Now, Haunted House, it still can put you on edge a little bit today because, it is not that it's scary or anything necessarily, but it adds a little bit of foreboding right in there. And so what I'm going to also do is pull up the manual for this as well, so that way we can go ahead and kind of read through it, make sure that we know exactly what we're playing or getting ourselves into. So in a haunted house, you're locked in a haunted house. You're represented by some eyes, and you have to kind of rip around the environment and put together these pieces of an urn. But you have all sorts of baddies that are trying to find you. You have a candle that will burn out after a certain period of time. So it does put you on edge a little bit when you're playing these games. But let me go ahead and pull that up. And let's go ahead and understand what it is we're about to go ahead and jump into. So, in Haunted House, many years ago in the small town of Spirit Bay, there lived an old man named Zachary Graves. Old man Graves was not a very well-liked person. He rarely left the old mansion and spent most of his life brooding about the decaying four-story house. And when he died, the house was condemned and locked up. All right, setting the stage for it, which we really couldn't convey on the old Atari, but we're going to give it our best shot here. The townspeople claim that Old Man Graves knew the whereabouts of a magic urn that was a family heirloom of the first family of Spirit Bay. It seems that the mansion was the family's first home, and that the magic urn, which broke into several pieces during an earthquake of 1890, is still in the old house today. So, what you have to do, the object of the game is to find the 3 pieces of the magic urn, carry them back to the main entrance of the mansion before losing all 9 of your lives. Love the fact that they've got, 9 lives, leaning right in there to the horror theme of it. Boo. I mean, boo. Yeah, that was Mark Delora popping in there. That's right. Boo, Mark. And let's see. All right. The pieces scattered the urn randomly through 24 rooms in the mansion. There are 4 floors. Each floor is 6 rooms, and the floors are connected by staircase. You're going to see how they kind of represented this back in that day. So what we have to do is go find those 4 pieces of the urn, get it to the front of the mansion across those 9 areas. We have a scepter, which is a magic stick used to make you invisible to all the creatures in the mansion. So we have to try to find that to pick that up. As long as you hold the scepter, you cannot be scared to death, which is what they call it. Like all of the objects you're holding, the scepter, while you're holding the scepter, it appears at the bottom of the right side of the screen. Okay, we'll take a look at that. There's a master key. We're not going to use that because we'll play a simpler version of it so we can get to other games too. You travel through different doorways. There are tarantulas, vampire bats, and a ghost. There's one very fast-moving ghost in the mansion. It can move through locked doors and walls to chase you anywhere in the house. If the ghost catches you, you will be scared to death and lose a life. So we're going to go ahead and check that out. So using the controller, we just have to kind of go up, down, left, and right around the mansion to find everything. And the flashlight, right, is the flashlight that we have. Oh, it's matches. It's matches and torches. So let's go ahead and check out a little bit of Haunted House. So you're represented by these eyes. You can hear that little thumping there. That is the sound of your footsteps running around the mansion. And what you'll be doing is if you turn your, use a match, right, you want to be careful to not run out. So you can't get out of there. And we'll see there are no stairs there, so we're on the bottom floor. And look at those stairs that go up. So it starts with the thin line, and the lines get bigger because you're kind of looking down, so the stairs get bigger coming up. All right. Ooh. Oh, no. Okay. It is not a scary. It's not a scary game. Oh yeah, Mark, was that super loud? Yeah, let me go ahead and turn that down a little bit there, and make sure that I'm not blowing out your speakers there on the other side of the screen. All right, here we go. Thump, 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 thump. Yeah, let me turn down that thump, 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 thump. Oh shoot. Okay, yeah, vampire bat. All right. There we have the scepter. So that gives us some invisibility, right? But I don't think you're invisible when you have the matches on. Let's see if we can find the piece of the urn and get... Oh, it was the crackling. Oh, no. It is hella scary, actually. It does make you jump. Oh, okay. There's a piece of an urn. Look at that. I jumped at the urn. I'm telling you, I'm a wimp when it comes to horror games. I can't play them. All right. That's the sound to go up, and then you heard the sound to go down. And like I said, the way they represented ascending or descending stairs, you'll notice that you're at the edge there where the stair is big, and because you're looking down, you can see the stairs get smaller. Those little black lines are the stairs. They get smaller as you go down. And of course, the sound tells you, now we've ascended, and let's go ahead and find the rest of the urn. We only have 1 piece. We've got to get 4, and then get the heck out of the mansion. Let's see. This is an Atari 2600 game. Yes, this is the game Haunted House. Now, if you are the proud owner, as you all should be, of the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection, which was done by our awesome friends over there at Other Ocean, now part of Atari. Oh, there's a version of Haunted House. They did a remake of Haunted House that is really, really awesome, using, obviously, modern engine, modern graphics, a different little bit of a... It's the same type of game, but the adventure just feels a little bit different and fresher. Oh, tarantula, and I have no more matches. And we just went down. We need to go back up. So check that out. But there was also another remake of this game that was done, I think, in 2023. That is a much longer adventure. And there is I believe, a homebrew of adventure or Haunted House, a sequel to this game that is really good as well. So I love the fact that okay, so I have the whole urn. I don't know how that happened, but now we're going to go ahead and go down. So I think down, 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 and let's see, is this the front of the house? No, that's not the front of the house. Where the heck's the front of the house? Now, again, not the scariest game, but if you put it in the context of being a kid during this time and playing this in the dark with just the thumping sound and the music, yeah, it puts you on edge a little bit. And so that's Haunted House on the Atari VCS. And yeah, all right, let's go ahead and jump into another game on the Atari VCS. And this one, I didn't really play it when it first came out, but I started playing, I do a lot of retro gaming stuff, and said, hey, let me go ahead and check it out. So, of course, this one is Halloween. And yeah, the music in this one can be a bit grating. So I'm going to make sure that volume is, let's see, a little bit lower so it doesn't blow your ears out. So the whole idea in this is Michael Myers is in the house and he's coming to get you, and you have to rescue all the kids and get them to safe rooms at either end of the house before he gets you. Very simple. Remember, you only had 4 directions that you can move, and you had 1 button, right, in which to play these games. So let's check out what Halloween has to offer. All right, so, oh, there he is. Okay, so what I want to do is go down. So you have multiple floors. Ah, there he is. And you can move faster, obviously. Oh, yeah, lights out in this room. Now, you have to, when you're standing over one of the kids, you have to, oh, shoot, why can't I grab him this way? Ah! Oh, no, he's gonna get one of the kids. We're going to lose a kid there. Oh, that's too bad. That's where was somebody? Yeah, terrible. Okay, let's go ahead and find some other kids and get them to the safe room. Okay, so this is a safe room because you can't go any further. I think it's 6 rooms across or something like that. And you have to go up and down. The wiring is faulty on the 2nd floor, and that's why it flickered like that. All right, so now we want to go and you stand over one of these kids, and then you hold down a button and you move them, lead them. Right, I guess that must be with the beeping, must be them screaming or something, to get them to the safe room. And I don't know if this is the safe room or not. Let's see. Okay, this should be the safe room because let's just make sure. Let's bump against that wall. Oh, no, here it is. All right, there you go, and you get points. And so now Michael Myers can't get your kids, and you just continue saving as many kids as you can from Big Bad O Michael Myers. Oh, see, there he is. Now, you can move faster than him, and he has to be directly in line with you in order to get you. But, oh, shoot. Let me see here. Yeah, that blinking that's just terrible. Should have like a strobe warning in the games. And we didn't do that that far back, but, all right, let's see. Now, the trouble is, yeah, now, okay, I gotta, it's gonna, yeah, I got around him. Woo! All right, let's go. Shoot, where's this going to take me? Oh, this is... Okay, it's now a knife. Let's see. And the knife just scared him away. That's all it did. You didn't get to get him with the knife. But you can imagine, this is... All right, this is what's so wacky about this era of games, and we saw commercialization of games and toys in the 1970s and 80s, right? This is a game that's going to be played on a video game machine. Oh no, he's going to go ahead and get the kid if I don't get off the screen. Shoot! All right, Michael, get out of here. I'm trying to tell a story. So this is obviously a rated R movie, and they made a video game. With Michael Myers that kids would be playing. Okay, so I guess I have to get him over to the other side. Now, what I should be able to do is move up and separate. Oh, he must have got the kid too. Yeah, terrible. Yeah, perfectly fine for kids to play. I mean, honestly, this game, as it stands, sure it is. But, remember the moral panic and things like that of, oh, this is Mike Myers coming after you. Okay, yes, but when we take a look at the graphics today, it feels a bit laughable that we were so worried about it. But, I believe they even made action figures and toys based on some of these properties. I know they most certainly did for things like Predator and Aliens and stuff like that. And that's why the 80s were awesome, right? Because we were the ones that had the chance to play with all of those crazy-ass toys that we should be playing with. Anyway, but this is... what's this? Rolling on the ropes. Nah, Mom, it's 32 gray pixels. That is exactly right. Yay! So, yay for a scary but not so scary game on the Atari 2600 or VCS. Okay, yeah, look at that. Just, that's all you could really do. Although I will show you when he gets you. There you go. Your head pops off and you have pixelated blood coming out of your head. And so maybe that's what the panic was about. But those are two games on the Atari VCS that fell into the scary but really not so scary category. All right, let's go ahead and jump on over to one of my favorite systems, but didn't really get a lot of play here in the US, but is beloved by collectors around the world, and that is the TurboGrafx 16. And we're not going to play through all of these. We're going to play through, just little pieces of this. Mark Delores says, honestly, I found the pterodactyl in Joust to be scary. Yeah, you're not wrong, right? Yeah, you're not wrong. Those things could be scary, especially, I wouldn't say scary is the right word, as they were jarring, right? It kind of put you on edge. Same thing with Sinistar, and you would hear the Sinistar roar when you're playing those games. But, all right, we're going to, like I said, jump on over to the PC Engine. And, of course, you can't talk about monsters and you can't talk about baddies without talking about, the big baddie, one of the big baddies of them all, which is, of course, Dracula. And of course, one of the greatest versions of a Dracula lore-based games or series is, for those of you that, let's see, here we go. Now, this game, when it came out, was, Beware I Live. Thank you, Mark. Yes, I have that sound clip. We're going to add it to the pads here. So this, of course, is Castlevania, Rondo of Blood. Incredible game, and it's still, when we look at all the different Castlevania games, including the ones that came out on PlayStation and everything else, it was really, really awesome. Rolling on the Rope says, it's about as scary as waiting 10 minutes for a tape to load and getting a read error. Hell yes. Yes, people that didn't grow up in that era don't understand the pain that we used to have in exactly that, trying to load a game off a cassette just to have it not work. Oh, it's absolutely terrible. All right, but we're going to go ahead and just start the beginning here, right? It's the perfect setting for a midnight playthrough on Halloween night, right? Oh, so good. And what really set this apart was, at the time that this game came out, let me just check my levels here. Let me turn that down a little bit. Yeah, so at the time that this game came out, we were now finally getting CD-ROM, games on CD-ROM. And, of course, the TurboGrafx 16, or PC Engine, was the first home game console to actually have a CD add-on. And so they were really showcasing the music. They were showcasing the extra RAM that was included to really make this a spectacular game. And so we hadn't seen anything like this before. Of course, we had games like, Symphony of the Night that came out, really, built on top of, not this presentation, but this was a little bit different than Symphony of the Night in that it really kind of leaned back on the previous Castlevania games. You look at level design, platform design, like at the staircase design, those sorts of things. So it's got 1 foot in the future at the time, 1 foot in the past, but just an absolutely awesome game and still held up as one of the best Castlevanias ever done. Yeah, all the jump scares of this game, enemies coming through the windows, projectiles coming from off screen. And then you also had all those beautiful little bits like, look at the ashes that are flying up in front of you, as you play through this. Oh, it's so good. So good. But again, all the jump scares and stuff for this is what makes it a scary game, or a scary but not so scary game, right? And not to mention the theme, of course. So wait, is this all in-game music? Yes, this is all in-game music. It's it's known as Red Book CD audio, and this is what the soundtrack was like. So you're marrying like that older graphical style, or at the time it was still new, but for us it's an older graphical style with more advanced or robust audio, right? Because it's all streaming off the CD. And then look at the size of these enemies. Oh, so good. Oh, and you had voice samples and everything else. Really, really cool. So this is Dracula Rondo of Blood. This is the imported version that I have from Japan. And it's just so much fun to go back and play it. And these games are difficult as heck. Now, the other thing too, the TurboGrafx 16 or the PC Engine only had 2 buttons on the face, right? So you didn't have an Xbox controller style layout, or even a Super Nintendo style controller, right? You had 2 buttons, 4 directions you could move, and that was it, right? And so they had 2 buttons that you would control, but they also had, of course, a play, and I think it was just a play button or a run button on there. No, it was a run button and a pause button. But yeah, it's just really, really awesome. I'm not concentrating enough here to play through it, so we're going to go ahead and move on, but definitely go ahead and check it out. If you like the Castlevania series, Rondo of Blood is... Again, it's one of the best, and it's also in a whole bunch of compilations on everything from the Castlevania Chronicles on the PSP all the way to other kind of, Castlevania packs that you could go ahead and get. Awesome, awesome game, and another scary but not quite so scary game for this season here. All right, let's go ahead and check out what else we have. If you have a game that really scared you as a kid, go ahead and pop it in the chat and let me know. And like I said, if we have time at the end and I have it in my library, we'll see if we can go ahead and pull that up. But sticking with the PC Engine. All right, this one is more gory than horror. This is Splatterhouse, and there was an arcade version of this as well. This was one of those games that made your parents, when you were a kid, go, ew, that's disgusting. Why are you playing this game? Because it, like I said, is more gross than scary, but it's just cool. So again, just imagine, you're a kid in the 90s at this time, late 80s, early 90s, and this is what you get to go ahead and play. Really, really cool. Just make sure that volume isn't blowing you out there. Oh, look at that cutscene. Now, this game made it onto the Super Nintendo, and it did make it onto the Genesis as well. All right, now we got ourselves a bat. And what's cool, right? I mean, from a design perspective, is the baddies that you're hitting are moving into another plane, right? So they're moving backwards or forward, foreground or background, which was really cool at the time. We didn't necessarily have game systems that were doing that very much. Of course, you did see them in other Konami games like The Simpsons Arcade, for example, one of the best side-scrolling brawlers ever made. Oh, shoot. Okay, now I gotta get that and get out of the way. Where, enemies would go and fly at the screen. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games did the same thing as well. But we got it here, I think, first in Splatterhouse, which was really awesome. All right, let's see. We're going to go ahead and get to the end of this level and see what the baddie is there at the end. And like I said, it's more gross than horror. A little tongue-in-cheek there. And of course, you're not quite a Jason. Oh, you're not a Jason character. You're not a Michael Myers character, right? You're kind of a pastiche of those enemies. And there he goes. All right, let's see. Rolling on the ropes, alien breed on the Amiga. Yes, I also found that scary. Okay, look at this. Just gross, right? And it's just a bit nerve-wracking playing this. Yes? All right, come on. Especially because you don't know where they're going to quite land, and, face huggers coming out at you. Well, actually, really not a face hugger, but, like I said, it's kind of a cross between, an alien type of character and other character, similar characters like that. But that Splatterhouse, they had 2 sequels to that, Splatterhouse 2 and 3. And, they're good, competent games, right? It's not just gore to be gory. The gameplay is fun. The collision's done really well. The challenge really amps up as you get further into the game. And if horror movies and scary baddie games this time of year are what you're craving, can't go wrong with the little Splatterhouse. It's a really, really good game. And let's see. Oh no! Oh! Was that the last one? That was the last one. Hooray! We went ahead and made it out of there. Woo! Talking retro scary, the music that plays when Sonic's running out of air into water is chilling. Yes, I agree. Any game that kind of amps up the tension by changing the melody or running it faster and stuff like that. Yeah, it's difference between scary and tension, right? So now instead of jumping into Splatterhouse 2, let's go ahead. We have a bunch of other games to go ahead and take a look at. Sticking with the TurboGrafx 16, let's go ahead and take a look at this one, which now I've never played through this one its entirety. It was one of these games that was a bit, when you were younger playing, it was a bit obtuse, right? And it's not really a horror game, but it is a game that really leans into the 1950s kind of, like alien type of tropes. It came from the desert. And this was a game that was done by a company called Cinemaware. And Cinemaware, when they launched, they had created these incredible games that, for its time, that just blew you away with the graphics. The first one was called Defender of the Crown, and that came out on the Amiga, which our very good friend, RJ Michael, was the creator of the operating system for the Amiga. And you can check out my interview with him on the AWS for Games channel's show that we do called Game Industry Legends. And we go into the whole background, the development of the Amiga, the Atari Lynx, the 3DO, and the future work that he's working on right now. But this is, it really leans into, again, the whole 1950s era, 60s era, alien invasion, from the ground invasion type of games. This was the color palette that we had. And now check out this awesome full motion video. All right, let's see. And look at this. That's at the time we had original vocal soundtracks being written for games. A little crazy. All right, let's see what's going to happen on day one.
Ants, Buzz. They build cities, wage wars, take slaves to work their underground farms. Some can even fly thousands of feet into the sky and travel across vast oceans. But they never kill for sport. That
now remember, when we're watching this game,
hey,
when we're watching this game,
jackrabbits.
We hadn't seen full motion video in video games before. You had touches of it, right, in some games, but not like this. But the color palette here, I think it was like 4,096 colors out of 64,000 colors or something like that. And so they did the best they could with it, and it's a wonderful kind of artifact of the past, right? And going back taking a look at it is pretty great. All right, let's check it out. Here we go.
One of the locals, Buzz. I see he's out shooting jackrabbits with his big shotgun again. For fun. There's what I'm after. The wreck on the highway. A bad sign, very bad.
Indeed, very bad sign. Very bad sign.
Last night, isn't it? It was no accident. Its deadly cargo had vanished by the time the sheriff arrived. That can only mean one thing, Buzz.
One thing, it means let's move on from this cutscene. Okay, here we go.
Well, this place is still Funtown, USA.
Well, this place is still Funtown, USA. Okay, so I have to go to either the Borax Saloon, the mine entrance, or the Salt Flat. So let's go and start off at the Borax Saloon and see what we have here. World on the Ropes also says, Cinemaware, remember that they made wings on the Amiga. Oh, this guy is super annoying, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I forgot that he was in there. Oh, no, okay. Let's find out some more information about the girl. That's who we're supposed to be, I guess. Oh, let's see. All right. So what you're looking at on the screen here, if you take a look right down the center of the screen, you can see a line where they composited these pieces of video together. So those are the seams. And you can also see in the lava around the other side of the sofa that she's sitting on. And actually that's the piece that composites the other side of the sofa. And by compositing, meaning that they layered pieces of video on top of each other and then rendered it. And you can see a yellow line that is on, actually, let me see if I can use my hand to do that. Yeah, so you can see this yellow line, this box that is on the outside of, oh, my hand doesn't go there. This yellow line on the outside of it, that's the piece that's laid over. So we couldn't even do real compositing at this time, right? It was trying to make the technology do stuff that it just really couldn't do. Okay, I don't even know what she's saying, who this lady is.
Boundary. The watchman, he's one of them.
Oh, the watchman is one of them. So I guess we have to look out for the watchman. Okay.
The sensor checked out okay. What's that rumbling sound? Whoa!
And you had massive load times in between. All right, and so now you're underground. Oh, and that's the jump button. And now you have to kill all the baddies, including the mutants that are underground there. And what do we have to find? That should be ammunition and grenades or bug bait or something like that. And the deeper you go into the mine, I think the faster they start to become. The other thing, too, in this era of games, the way enemies would spawn from the screens, we really hadn't locked that down correctly. And so we'd get terrible spawning of characters that should be dead and not come back on the screen. But, we have to be careful because, oh, no. Oh, look at that. Oh, womp, womp. Hey, you got eaten alive. All right, and now we're off.
The voice of the desert. 99.9 on your FM dial.
Oh.
Prissy on line 5.
All right, look at this. They are doing a GTA music radio thing before GTA did.
Well, I've got this sort of boyfriend, but he's not part of the crowd.
Yeah?
He's kind of a loner.
Yep.
I mean, he kisses really cool, but he thinks this town really sucks flavor straws. He wants to take me to California on his motorcycle.
What an insult. This town sucks flavor straws.
This town's going to be Action Central real soon. And listen, dump this jerk. He sounds like a real loser to me.
Anyway, that is It Came from the Desert. These giant ants are living under the town, and they're going to come up and devour everything, and you have to play out all the different storylines that are going on in the town and all that good stuff, right? Actually, yeah, let's see if we go to the Atomic Cafe, what happens there. So you're following that story thread on the top. You're going underground to fight them. I mean, colorful characters like this.
Besides that paint mixer you're sitting on. Hey, there's a new show at the drive-in tonight. Maybe I'll ask Prissy. I mean, hey, you don't even have a car, right? Oh, like my new truck? Yeah, well, I'm the new slug-a-bug cat in town. Attention crawling and flying slime. Sonny's back, and it's dying time.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, come on by my shop. I'm giving out free boxes of rat poison. Check you later, man.
Oh, you know that guy's going to get it. You know he's going to be one of... the ants are going to get him. All right. Anyway, that was It Came from the Desert. Let's go ahead and move on to another scary yet not so scary game. And this is, of course, Night Trap. Now, Night Trap is a super interesting game because of what it did to our industry. And so as we're loading this up, I'll go ahead and tell you a little story about Night Trap. Let's get that Sega sound there. So there was this company called Digital Pictures that had developed a VCR-based, a VHS-based game platform called, I believe it's called the Nero. And they were selling it to Hasbro. And yeah, Digital Pictures, that's it. And Hasbro really thought this was really cool. They wanted to go ahead and do something with it, but then, projects go away sometimes. And at the time, Sega was releasing the Sega CD. So they took this idea of this full motion video-based game where you went ahead and had to protect the people in the house from these marauding, like vampire-type creatures. And they ported it to the Sega CD. And it's not really... Yes, it's a game, but if you think about games like Five Nights at Freddy's, which we have right now, that directly comes from this type of a game, right? That type of mechanic. You're looking at the cameras and you're doing certain actions to move the story forward. Now, one of the people that was listening here was Rob Fullett, who was one of the creatives on this and founders of the company there. Rob's background was he was at Atari, working on the original Atari VCS, and had done, I believe, the game Missile Command. And he tells this wonderful story. Well, I wouldn't say it's wonderful. He tells this story that was pretty sad, actually, where one year for their Christmas bonus, Atari, after it had been sold by Nolan Bushnell and the people that founded it, gave their Christmas bonus to the developers, and it was a coupon for a free turkey. And as a result, Rob said, I'm done with this, framed it. He probably still has it. Then he went off and started a small company with a couple of the folks called Imagic. And Imagic went on to make some incredible games during the Atari 2600 era, including games like Atlantis and Demon Attack. They were really known for their graphics and gameplay, and their awesome cover art that they did. Their cartridges had like a silver foil as the label, which was just not seen in that era. Really, really cool.
Right now, the code is set to blue.
So
you have control of the traps.
The person in charge of the mission here has given us instructions that I'm not following right now. Okay, here we go.
Our override cable is here in hallway 1. If
Okay.
anyone disconnects it, you lose control. For good.
Uh-oh.
This is my attack squad. And this is Kelly, one of my best undercover agents. She'll be arriving with the rest of the girls.
Dana Plato.
I'm putting her life and the lives of those other girls in your hands. So don't even think of messing up.
All right. Don't even think of messing up.
You don't have the brains or the guts for this assignment. Give the controls to someone who does.
Oh.
The girls should be
That
pulling into
tough
the
guy.
driveway. You're wasting time. Get over there now.
All right.
Looks like you're not up to this mission. Breaking contact.
No. Oh, see? No, my.
Control, we're going in.
All right, there we go. Let's hear what happens.
Hi. Hi. I was so afraid you decided not to come.
Oh, no way. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Sarah, this is beautiful, by the way.
So, this was full motion video, which always confused me because if it wasn't motion, how could it be video? So that was always kind of weird.
These are your lovely new friends from the shopping
But
mall.
you couldn't do this full screen because there just wasn't enough processing power in the Genesis, right, or the Sega CD to do it. So everything was always kind of in these thumbnails there. And this also reminds me, kind of the plot and everything of the Lost Boys movie, classic movie from the 80s with Kiefer Sutherland, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, because it's all vampire-based and the hidden vampires around you and that kind of stuff. Oh, Victor. Dude, do you think he's a vampire? The way he talks? Victor.
This is my wife, Sheila.
Come on, everyone. Let's go in the house.
Right, of course. He has to be the vampire because he has the accent, right? And then you got this guy who shows up here. Yeah.
That's Weird Eddie. He's just one of the neighbors.
He's really cute.
Poor Weird Eddie. All right, I don't know what that clip is. All right, yeah, you saw the little vampires on the top there. So they are probably upstairs. Oh, no, we're in the hallway here.
Enchanté.
What?
Stop speaking French. All right, let's go up there. Where are they? So you're basically looking around the house.
Mrs. Gordon.
Well, please. just
And you
call
could
me Sheila.
listen in on the different conversations going to try to pick up clues as to what was going on here. And what you would have to do is then use these traps. Okay. Can I... how do I do that? Let's see. Oh, okay. So I think I have to match up the color of the trap with the color of the room. So let's see. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. No, no. Shoot. Okay, let's find where they went. Everything here? Okay. Let's see. Let's continue moving here. Okay, I missed in there. Let's see. Is he going to be in the living room? Let's see. Shoot, I missed him. Let's see. Not there. And you can always tell you're about to enter a space where something's going on because it takes a little time to load, right? So it's almost like a little tell.
Let's go see the boats.
Oh, let's go see the boats. Okay, let's see. Now, what made this game so significant in game history is that this became the subject of the congressional hearing on video game content. And as a result of that hearing, we got the Entertainment Ratings Board, basically. Oh, access denied. Why is it denied? Okay, so I have to get the right color, I guess. But yeah, the colors don't quite stand out there, do they? All right, there's purple. Yeah, and it all had to do, honestly, with this one scene where one of the young ladies went into the bathroom, and then these vampires came out and put a collar on her and were like drilling into her neck, and she was there screaming. And they said, "Oh, you know, this is horrible." And you know, maybe if we had vampires around us, it would be horrible. But this was Night Trap, and it's a game with a lot of tension and. You know, it tried to do some innovative things at the time. They were trying at the time to figure out how full motion or video-based games, or movie-based games rather, could be turned into games. Yeah, I'm not sure what the access codes. So I need to go ahead and figure that out. Maybe we'll actually do a full playthrough because Night Trap became available on a whole variety of platforms, including on the iPhone, right? So again, this is a scary but not so scary game that came out on the Sega CD. And it's important because it helped, or it changed the way we thought about video games, and we thought about how we were going to incorporate video. At the time, we had games like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace and some other games that were coming out in that era. In the arcades, we had games like Mad Dog McCree and things like that. But this was the first time we really had this stuff at home. So that was Night Trap. All right, let's go ahead and move on to, we have, I think, maybe 2 or 3 more to take a look at here. Now, this one isn't so much a horror-based game as it is just a gory kind of game, and it is one of my favorite games of all time. This is definitely my top 20 games. This is Devil's Crush Pinball on the TurboGrafx 16 or the PC Engine. This game is a banger from top to bottom. It is, the graphics are amazing, the audio is amazing, the speed at which it moves is awesome, the character design is amazing. I just love it, and it's a pinball game. So let's go ahead and check out a little bit of Devil's Crush, and of course we play that on fast, and let's go drop it in and listen to the audio on this. So good. Absolutely love this one. All right, here we go. And what they also had were these different levels that that you could like move the ball up into. So if you got the ball into the crown of the queen right there in the middle, she starts to morph and she turns into like this lizard. But you take a look again at the imagery and the graphics they were using, and parents were a little concerned about, you know, look, there's a skull with eyes that are following you, and we got skulls with feet, and, you know, are those pentagrams there, which they're not. And so it's a pinball game, right? There's no possession included with this one, but it's awesome. It is just really, really good. And this is, again, is a good game to play even today on a big screen TV with the lights off and music turned up, and it's just a great game. And the theme of it's just fantastic. Now, this is a follow-on to another game that they did for the TurboGrafx 16 called Alien Crush. That was the first game on the, or pinball game on the TurboGrafx 16 to do this multi-screen or multi-play field sort of environment. And while it's good, it can't hold a candle to this one. This one offers full scrolling, so you'll notice as the ball moves up the screen, the whole playfield scrolls. In Alien Crush, the when the ball would leave the top or bottom of the screen, it would then snap to the other screen, which could be really jarring, especially if the ball's moving really fast or you're kind of like on a points, run. But this one, I'm trying to get up to the third level there because that's where we're going to see like the druids come out, and that's where you access the additional levels. So let's see if we can at least just get up to the top level there before we move on. Like I said, we only have a couple more to do. I think we got 3 more after this that we're going to go ahead and go over. But yeah, again, not so scary, but definitely in the right theme for this season. Now, the reason I didn't do this episode last week before Halloween was I'd been traveling for, as I mentioned at the top of the show, for a few weeks away from the office, and that's why we had premieres that were showing instead of live shows. And then I was at the Montreal International Games Summit, which I just got back from yesterday, and so I didn't have enough time to go ahead and put together a Halloween episode before I was back in the office here. So we just cobbled together this one here so we could show some of these games again that thematically fit right into this era. Now, what's really cool is, I say this often, right? Good games are good games regardless of the era in which we first experience them or experience them later. And so games like Devil's Crush, the design, the play fields, the way this is constructed has influenced several other games. There was a follow-on, I forget the name now, maybe it was like Devil's Revenge or something, with Dragon's Revenge, that was the name of it, was done for the Mega Drive and Sega Genesis. But there is a company that has released modern pinballs that are based on this format, right? This theme. And you can go pick them up on Steam right now. We actually showed them on the pinball episode of Rewind that we did a few weeks ago. And it's fantastic. It feels like the evolution of this game, and it's an awesome game to play. Great soundtrack, blistering speed, ton of colors and stuff happening there. And then you can see that was one of the bonus levels. I think there are 5 or 6 different bonus stages you can actually go ahead and crank up points and get to in this game. But yeah, when you talk about evergreen games that you can always go back to, Devil's Crush. Devil's Crush is absolutely one of them. All right, I love it so much. Let's see if we can at least get the queen to morph here before we lose the last ball. If not, we're just going to go ahead and move on. And obviously, we're going to go past our 1 hour show time here today, which is okay, which is perfectly fine. I'm happy to do that because games are awesome. And so let's go play more of them. But, one of the things that I get asked sometimes is, why do we do this show here? Are these games running on AWS? Some of the games that I show are. A lot of them are not. But it is important to understand the history of games, to understand design, to understand the companies that built them, to look at the games that came before so we know what works, what doesn't, the type of things that we want to see in games going forward. And that helps us to better understand the process of the creation of video game art and help our customers deliver games to the world that you play on the daily, right? And so it is important to understand where we came from so we know where we're going. And that's part of the fun here on Rewind, and that's why I love doing this show every week. And so that's Devil's Crush on the TurboGrafx 16. Awesome game. Definitely, if you have a TurboGrafx 16, if you are a collector, you probably already have this. If you don't, you should. Shame on you. Go ahead and find it if you've got that, if you are collecting for the TurboGrafx 16. All right, we're going to look at 3 more here and then one more other one real quickly. Now, this one isn't... actually, we're just going to look at these 2. So another one is... Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Fantastic game. Again, it's a tongue-in-cheek sort of horror-based game with Konami sensibilities behind it. Great character design. LucasArts game, right? And what you'll see in like the character design is that they feel a little bit like some of the character designs we saw in games like Maniac Mansion or Ron Gilbert's The Cave. Those sorts of things. But all right, this one is a pretty straightforward game. Let's go ahead and check it out. This was available on the Super Nintendo as well as the Genesis, and Limited Run Games had done a remake of these and a re-release for the Switch, and it was Zombie Ate My Neighbors, and I forget the follow-on. There was a follow-on to it as well, and you can get it on a physical Switch cartridge, and they're great games. They're absolutely great games. All right, and look, and you can tell what era this is. He's wearing, these blue and red, glasses there. All right, let's see. All right, here we go, and it sets up each level like a movie title, like a horror movie title. All right, so the whole goal here is to rescue all the people in the neighborhood and avoid the zombies, right? So yeah, we got them all stacked up right here, which is very unusual. And so you pick up different weapons and different power-ups and things like that. You only have, like with this, you have a certain amount of time before your air runs out. You use the trampolines to jump to different walled-off areas as well. Oh, there's the dog. And you can blow them up. The animation is just lovely to play, or to see rather. It's just so well done, and the game is still highly playable. And this one, it reminds me a bit of, like, well, what am I trying to say here? Like a little bit of like a Robotron type of shooter, but also it's not, and it's got a little bit of adventure to it, but it's not really quite that. It's a little bit like, Smash TV, but again, not really, right? So it's just a mix of all of these things, but again, it has the art and design sensibility of the LucasArts games, and the incredible people that worked at that company. Yeah, so we have to find. So we got the radar there, and we're not finding anybody else right now. So we have to go find them. Let's at least clear one level before we get out of there. And of course, the difficulty continues to ramp up, as you get into higher levels. And there are more characters that show up and all that other great stuff. Hidden passageways into other levels. Really, really cool. Love it. Love it. Can I get through here? No. Okay, so I have to get up to the top there where those cheerleaders are. Okay, yeah, nothing there. All right, let's make our way back out here. And get on up to the... Oh, no, I don't want to go that way. I want to go this way. That's right. And let's go this way and this way just to get around them. And there should be a couple of cheerleaders up here to the top. And look, they're jumping, so you have to avoid them. You have a key so you can get in the room. And there's nobody hiding in there. Do you have any other keys? No, and I have one med kit left. All right, let's see. Ah, there we go. And there's your little portal to get out. And that's how you play Zombie Ate My Neighbors. So you have to avoid all the baddies on the level, grab all the people that you can, and I believe the zombies can attack them and you get into later levels, and continue going. So yeah, again, it's a not so scary game that's based on those old horror tropes. Evening of the Undead instead of Night of the Living Dead, right? And the music changes, of course, along with it. Oh, okay, no, he's a good guy. Oh yeah, now I have different weapons here. And let me see, can I change that? Yeah, oh no, I didn't want to use my health. Why did I do that? Yeah, that's just the pause. So yeah, and you've got day-night cycles in this, and they obviously change what the characters do going day to night, and you want to go ahead and get her before the zombies. So yeah, look how fast this guy's going. Maybe at night they're moving a whole lot faster, I don't know. I don't know if zombies can swim in this game, but let's do this. Yeah, and okay, now we have somebody on this. You have to time it there. So yeah, they start to amp up the difficulty as you get into later stages, as they should. And actually, the game I was thinking of too that it also reminds me of are games like Toe Jam and Earl. Another great game on the Genesis. And of course, there was a remake of this that was done by I think it was Human Head Studios did it. I had done the Kickstarter. Oh, we just lost one of the cheerleaders. Womp, womp. And I backed it on Kickstarter, so I not only got the game, but I also got my Toe Jam and Earl mug and poster and tchotchkes and everything else. Really, really good game. And the cool thing about it, too, is it's a bit of a roguelike in that the levels are constantly changing. Okay, come on, get out of the way. And let's see, what can I open there? What's this thing do? Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, there's a key. I'm not sure. What does that do? Oh, yeah, I think, yeah. So now it turns me into this monster that I can just rip through everything. Yeah, so there's, again, a lot of awesomeness to this game. And you can see it's the scary, but not quite so scary sort of game. There we go. There we go. All right, and that is Zombie Ate My Neighbors. Now, I'm going to show you this one game before I show you the last. We have 2 left to go. This game is on the Atari VCS, and when I was a kid playing this game, it scared the crap out of me. And not because it's a really scary game, but just because of the tension that this game has. And I've shown this before on at least 1, if not 2 episodes. We're not going to play a ton of it, but we're going to go ahead and check this one out. And this one, again, just gets me right in the back of the brain pan because of how frightening this was when you were playing. So this game, Tunnel Runner, it is, again, kind of a roguelike in that the mazes are always changing that you traverse and that you're in. And the goal is to find, like, the treasure or the key and get out of the maze before the enemies get you. And the enemies are called Zots. And so I'm going to make sure, I want to read this to you. This game was one of the first Atari games to actually use a second chip as well to help with the graphics and audio and everything. And yeah, it was just absolutely terrifying to play. So what I'm going to do is just start the game and we'll let this play out. So here are the instructions for the game. Tunnel Runner is Dick Bucko Balaska's first game for CBS Electronics. Married with a finite number of children, he makes home deep in the crustacean lake of Connecticut. Okay, that's about the person that's doing this. But run for your life. Get a move on, Tunnel Runner. Those monstrous maze Zots have picked up your scent, and there's only one item on their menu. You've been running up and down these tunnels like a rat for so long, you're starting to develop a taste for cheese. Woo! That dialogue is great. Okay. Oh, sure, you can get out. You just haven't been able to find the key to the right escape door. That's all. There it is. You pick it up, start making your tracks to the door. You can hear the Zots on your heels. No time to check the map. This better be the right way. There's a door up ahead. You did it. You're free. And then you keep on going. So the object of Tunnel Run is to successfully escape from an endless series of colorful, complex, 3-dimensional mazes called runs. To do this, you must find the hidden key in each run. While in a run, points are scored for every new room you enter. Bonus points are awarded based on how long it takes you to escape from each run. What makes this game terrifying is you have 4 enemies that it's kind of like, well, it's not Pac-Man, but you have these monsters in a maze chasing you. And they all have a different tonal theme on the theme song. And as you start to approach them, you hear that individual theme softly, and then it builds in volume until they get you. Now, remember, this is an Atari VCS. There's no 3D graphic processor or anything here. So they had to figure out how to draw and give the feeling that you're in a 3D maze and make the characters look 3D on this incredibly anemic, antiquated system. So let's go ahead and play and see if we can't get out of the maze. So here are your footsteps. Now, you'll notice that when you're coming up to a turn, you can see those black bars, and that denotes a shadow. That's where you can turn, right? And so what you want to do is keep moving around here and try to find the hidden key. Now, the arrow at the bottom of the screen tells you which direction you're going, north, south, east, or west. And okay, fine. So that glowing floor means that there's a door. That one is a warp door. Take me someplace else in the maze. And the reason I wanted to do that was because you heard the Zots. And okay, I need to get the heck out of there. So I'm the little kind of cross-shaped character in the upper right. The staircase is on the map there, and there are the two Zots in the maze. So if I head down here and then head over, okay. Maybe we'll... Oh, there he is. Okay. And then you can hear how the music was softer and then it starts to build. And when you get 4 in the maze coming after you, and you're a little kid doing this, it scares the crap out of you. But this one still puts me on edge. Mazes get more complex. They add more enemies to the maze. They start moving faster. Okay, there he is. Look at that. And so on this little system, they're simulating 3D. There's the key. So, and there were 2 Zots there. So one was around this hall, and he's going to be right here at the top of the tunnel. Let's see. And you see how he's turned sideways? So it really gave you the sense that this is a real, creature in this maze and a real threat to you. Okay, I'm not backed into the wall, but now I have to get out of the maze. So that should be the next turn to the left and then all the way top to the right. All right, let's see if we can do it. 1, and then all the way to the top. And before we hit that wall, let's get this. Okay, that's the turn, and then it should be straight. Ah, there it is. No, that's not the one I want. Let's see. Where is it? We want to... Wait, is that? No. Oh, no, we want to go this way. Here we go. And where is... there it is. And that's the next level. Yay! We went ahead and did it. All right, and now we're going to go on to the next level. Let's do one more. And then I'm going to show you a modern game that has kind of that old school sensibility and is scary as hell. All right. Oh, it started off right next to him. And the thing is, when you're not looking at the maze and you just start ripping through it, look how fast you're moving. And this is where you get into trouble because you're quickly trying to get to the key and make those runs, and then you get those jump scares, and it is just ridiculous. All right, here we go. Okay, where is it? That was the Zot. Oh, shoot. Okay. And that's what happens when you die. So this game, I promise you, it looks simple, but it is a game that will put so much tension on you while you play. It is awesome. It is awesome. Yeah, over here in First Time Chat, NEA 104, that was a 1993 game. It's amazing how it still looks. Yes. Yeah, amazing how that one still looks. And yeah, all of these, did something really different in the era in which they were created. And yeah, we had scary games going all the way back to the very late 1970s, early 1980s. Oh, listen to that one. Where is he coming from? Yeah, you can hear like just different tones, right? It's crazy. All right. We have one more game we're going to go ahead and play. I'm going to get out of here. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Ah. Oh, and there was another one. Was a red one there, too. Oh, okay. Nope, that's it. That's it. Terrible. Yay, they got us. All right. That was Tunnel Runner on the Atari VCS. Really, really incredible game. If you're a collector, make sure you have that one in your collection because it is awesome. All right. The last game we're going to go ahead and take a look at here is one that I discovered and could not believe this game when I started to play it. It's called Pony Island, and you may have heard of this game before. And as it starts out in this pastel sort of environment, it quickly goes off the rails. And basically, this is a game that was coded by the devil, and it starts to break apart. And as you critique it, the devil gets angry at you, and it gets more disturbing and crazy. And we're not going to play a lot of it, but when I was thinking about modern games that have kind of that retro aesthetic, this certainly fits the bill. So let's go ahead and take a look at this a little bit. Let me know in the chat if you've played this game before. This game is more unnerving than it is scary, if that makes sense. All right, let's hear what Pony Island is going to do here. All right, so let's go ahead and let's check out our options. Cheerful facade is already checked off there. Okay, that's again a bit disturbing for us there. Do we want anti-aliasing on? Sure, we'll add anti-aliasing. We want a free ticket. And there we go. We got a free ticket. Let's see. Obscure options we can't do. Let's fix the start menu and that. There we go. Just put back. And yeah, let's start the game. Actually, let's see who's in the credits there. Oh. Okay, so you can't see it unless you paused it, but Beelzebub was the first one at the top. Or Dieselbib, so I guess they were spelling it backwards. All right, let's go ahead and just start playing Pony Island. And options didn't help. Okay, we already did that one. And okay, those pixels there. All right, so the code's broken. So what we need to do is we need to move down with our keyboard, I believe. Oh, no, we need to move this here. So it's a puzzle type of game. So now we fix the start menu and we have enabled us to start playing Pony Island. So here we go. We're going to let that load and see what it's going to do to us. Creepy. And again, it's, like I said, this one isn't, it's not that it's terrifying or anything. It's just unnerving when you play. I'm waiting for it to load, and of course there are pixels there. Okay, so there's a problem there. So it's got a loop in here that we don't want. We need to go swap that out. Let me see. Can I move this one? Yes. And let's go ahead and drop this down. So look at that. You got to do a little bit of coding, and we got to the load screen. And let's see what happens here. Yes. 1,000 times. Okay. So, Devil's a little angry that you're adjusting his code. And okay, we have a little jump there. Little Pony Island Endless Runner. Let's see what happens if we can get to the end of the bar at the bottom there. What are we going to get? Yay! Huge success. All right. Let's continue and see what happens next. So what I love about games like this, right, the creativity that goes into them, mixing up these different genres and giving you stuff that you didn't expect, that's what really goes into the artistry of video games, right, is constantly challenging your expectations and constantly providing new experiences in a format that you thought should be familiar, but it's not, right? So now up, everything is breaking here. Let's see what's happening here. Incredible. Okay, those are the pixels, the dead pixels there. All right, so let's go ahead and get this out of here. Let's fix that ticket stuff. Let's grab these pixels here. Okay, we need to go ahead and drop this down here for the pixel dispenser, or ticket dispenser. Now we should get another ticket. And you keep on playing through this game and deconstructing this for the devil. It's pretty crazy. All right. Let me see. What's it doing here? Dude, stop. Okay. Okay. And you see it keeps bringing you back and it's changing the dialogue of the screen a bit there. Okay. No. Okay. I want to stop that now. Let me get this out of here. And let me get this here. And let's see what happens. What is it doing to me now? Okay. Dude, stop. Is what it says. Okay, let me get that out of there. And let's see what happens now. INT overflow error. All right, we did something wrong there. And we're not going to be able to get down there. So let's leave all of them off and see what happens. experience the rest of Pony Island. Insert your soul to continue. Okay, see, it didn't even need a sound effect. It is just the text. Yeah, the pixels are down here at the bottom. We need to insert our soul. So we want to stop there. Yeah, which is exactly what we want to do. So we want to stop there. And let's see what happens when we do this. Okay, that's the paywall there. So we probably want to go ahead and force them over here, then force down. Actually, we want to re-loop that. Let's see what happens when we do that. Can we crash the game? Yeah, we don't want to do that either. Let's go ahead and see if we can just crash the game out, and then let's see who gets angry. And it starts bringing up things that look kind of familiar. Checking for a solution to the problem. Well, let's just close that out and see what happens. So you can see, like, this game, it's more psychological and just bizarre. And it's, you know what, it's one of those things where it's familiar to you, but it's not. And that's what makes it so absolutely creepy to go ahead and play. All right. Oh, is it up here? Oh, look at that. All right. There's a window back behind this. Oh my gosh. Okay. What is Pony Galaxy? Let's see. Okay. We have this little shooter game. I guess this was the devil learning how to program in Pico 8. No, I'm learning or making some little games on the desktop. Now, I haven't played through this game, which is why I'm experiencing some of this for the very first time too. Oh, let's see what's corrupted. Let's see, is this one corrupted too? What does this one do? How about that one? Let's see what the messenger says. Uh-oh. It's not letting me open that. Whoa. Lexi, no? How about if we just restart Pony Island? Can we move that around? Let's see, what is this? A help text is corrupted. Endless playing, endless testing. Yeah, we don't want that. Oh, there's stuff down here at the bottom too. See, that's what I mean, is you have to really dig through this one because it's a bit of an adventure type of game. Here we go, Helpless Soul. What was that? Hello, can you see this now? Hello? Let's see what happens. Who are you? Nobody? Yes. I'm a prisoner of this machine. Of course you are. Of course there's some crazy soul sitting in this machine. Yeah, I'm not going to go ahead and play any more of this right now because I'm going to wind up getting sucked into this game for a long time. But I think I'm going to go back through and try to play it. And it won't let me shut that window, of course. Why would it? Anyway, so that was just a little bit. Those just a few. Not a little bit. A few of the scary but not so scary games from the earliest 8-bit machines all the way to modern game systems and PCs, but made to look a bit like those retro games. And what's really cool is making sure that we go back and understand where we came from so we know where we're going. A lot of the people that designed these games, especially in the earlier days, are still working in the games industry today, making amazing experiences that we all love to go ahead and play on the regulars. So, yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of this episode of Rewind. And remember, if you are a video game developer of any size, from AAAs to indies, make sure you head on over to aws.amazon.com/GameTech to discover the products, solutions, and services that we offer to help you on your cloud game development journey. And if you're a beginner looking for a clear starting point to help you build a career or to learn to produce games in the AWS cloud, we recommend that you start with an AWS Learning Plan. This set of on-demand courses will increase your knowledge of game servers and game analytics and help grow your technical skills to solve real-world game development, compute, and analytics problems. And you can demonstrate your knowledge to the world by earning digital badges. Head on over to aws.training/GameTech to start your AWS for Games learning plan today. And I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Waterflame for allowing us to use his music here on Rewind. Make sure you head on over to his YouTube channel at Waterflame Music to check out his does incredible work. And finally, of course, if you care about preserving the history of video games as much as I do, make sure you head on over to the Video Game History Foundation's website at gamehistory.org. They're doing incredible work to preserve the history of our industry for future generations. And I want to thank you for spending your spooky but not so spooky Friday afternoon post-Halloween here with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, an awesome weekend. Go check out some of the games that we talked about today, and we'll see you next week on Rewind.